Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. Leicester City versus Everton. Boxing Day. It's going off. You're wearing your fat pants. Your Hulk stretchy purple number. You had a great Christmas day. And Everton comes along. Woohoo!
It's a piss on your fire.
Well, you saw away games on Boxing Day.
Really?
Yeah, it's normally pretty much.
Played Newcastle last Boxing Day.
Yeah, but
cleverly!
you normally just
He's won it!
You normally just forget about Newcastle, don't we, in general? Normally it's Middlesbrough at home, Boxing Day.
Cleverly done.
Always.
Cleverly.
Yeah, last minute. That was beautiful, wasn't it? Beautiful.
When Cleverly scores, we win. Has he only scored 2 goals for us and we won both games?
Yeah, pretty much.
Play him up front.
Yeah.
Him and Ron, maybe he's the link with Ron.
So, big game, Leicester, not in great form, although the last couple of games, Man City, obviously they took them apart in the first couple of minutes, and then the Stoke game, they were 2-0 behind, then pulled it back to 2-2, so...
Champions?
Very much a strange side. Very good in the Champions League. With
Champions?
With the Europa League group.
Don't forget. Don't diss the Foxes.
No.
Don't diss them, lad.
Listen, I was there last year with
You were?
Bocciatelli or whatever his name is, singing Boats and Hoes. It was amazing. Yeah.
Wasn't he a police fella in the 70s?
Don't know, no idea.
Pezzacelli, I'm thinking
wasn't
of.
around in the 70s.
Pezzacelli. You were.
Well, maybe in body.
You were.
But I mean, they've got suspensions as well, haven't they? Vardy's out.
Yeah.
Fuchs and Huth are out. So yeah. So I mean, certainly Vardy's the big one.
Huth, Fuchs, Vardy, they're out, aren't they?
Yeah, Fuchs, Vardy. Yeah. I mean, that's a different show. That.
Different show.
Yeah. But it's gonna be.
Where the cast.
We've got to. Yeah. It's got. No one needs suspended, but we've got to be at
our best.
Got to be at it, haven't we? I mean, they are still the champions. You've got to get paid in that respect. They haven't been at it this season for one reason or another. They're
decent at home, though.
Yeah, they are.
At home, they're quite decent there. It's away they've not really been at the races, but at home, you know, they spanked us last year, didn't they? When you were there, albeit we were 2 teams going in very different directions, and we had the Nias trying to chip. Well, just one man to beat to score, and he hit it about that eye. Will the real Everton please stand up? I suppose.
Yeah.
I think if we turn up like we did for the Watford game, we will get comprehensively beaten. But then again, if we play like we did for the last 70 against Arsenal, and certainly the first 45 against Liverpool, then we've got a good chance.
I think there's a couple of reasons. Obviously, they've not been. Well, I think there's probably 3 reasons. I mean, number one is they were champions. I don't think if you're that kind of team with a, I think when you're a proper team, I think it's very hard to step up to that again. They're a team without sort of stars, aren't they? I'm actually going to add another reason in a minute as well.
But there's the pressure of being champion.
But that's what I'm saying, that they haven't quite coped with that. I think Kante's been a big loss because he was a big part of how they played. So not having him, but not really adapting without him. They've tried to replicate it with the other lad they brought in, and hasn't quite worked.
He's a tough player to, you know. They need a Ghana.
Yeah,
it's just really wants.
But that's it. Yeah. So I think they've tried to replicate it, but it hasn't quite worked. As I say, I think another problem has been that no one gives them any respect anymore. When I say respect, that's probably the wrong way. No one. Well, they give them respect, sorry, because last season everyone was just like, oh, we'll do what we want against these, and Eddie just went, well, we'll just do what we've been doing. No one cottoned on to how they played. Even when then this time last year they was top of the league, weren't they? And they were flying, but everyone was still like, it's just Leicester, we'll show them. And they just kept on doing it. But in this season, everyone's got in. Well, the champions, we need to pay them that kind of respect. Whereas last season they wouldn't. And I think the other reason is, I think Mahrez wanted to get off, really, didn't he? He wanted to get off, and I think Vardy, probably part on hand, probably wanted to get off to Arsenal as well. I don't think it's affected Vardy as much, but I think Mahrez, he wanted to get off,
Well, Vardy's not really scored any goals this year.
A lot of it's down to the fact that him and Mahrez haven't really clicked. Yeah. We've seen against Man City that when they click, they're still a very dangerous. But Mahrez he does look like a player. He looks like he's been going through the motions this season.
He's been good in the Champions League.
Yeah, but that's because it's the Champions League, though, isn't it?
I think the thing is that last year Everton, it was the perfect storm for them. Everything went right. I think what they done was they finished the end of the season before very strongly. They lost twice in 18 under Nigel Pearson because they were down at Christmas the year before. The end of a year ago they were top of Christmas, so that calendar year of 2015, they were brilliant for that year, and they just got that momentum going, and they got themselves in a great position. They were top of the league, and momentum, and it was they're gonna fall away, and he just kept doing it every week. They kept that momentum going. Then it becomes difficult. Then Mahrez has got to reproduce. Everyone starts putting two players on Mahrez then all of a sudden, and Vardy isn't quite playing away. So it doesn't take much for it to break up.
You've got to climb that mountain again, haven't you?
It's hard, isn't it? Because I suppose top clubs, the top teams, not necessarily top clubs, but the top teams have 3 or 4 world-class players who've gone in there or certain. But even saying that, teams like Man City have won the league and then haven't won it a year later, so they found it difficult to replicate. It's hard. I think the Premier League's tough, and a team like Leicester, who were built on, they were greater than some of all the parts and all that palaver, man. They worked hard, they had a great formula, they played 4-4-2, they took the chances when they came along. This year was always going to be difficult for them to, like you say, replicate it.
I think it must be it's got to be a struggle mentally, hasn't it, as well? Because you've just got you through that season, and every week you've almost been prepared to run through brick walls every single week for your team and put a lot to the side, and then you get rewarded for it, and there's a massive high, and then that probably doesn't last very long. You win it, you go away, you come back, and then you're like, well, we're the defending champions, Sam, but you've got to do it all again, and that must be mentally really tough to say to yourself, right, I'm going to do this all again. I mean, look at Dingo in what's his name in the Formula 1? Rosberg, who's just packed in, and he just basically said, I've won it. I don't think I'm prepared to give everything again. I don't think I've got that in me. And I'm not saying the Leicester players haven't, but you need the whole team because it's a team, and I just think that's where they are at the moment.
It's hard if you win it, but they'll have. Don't forget, right? Like I just said, the year before they were fighting relegation, and they stayed up, and that was a massive high. They were down at Christmas. They stayed up, and then they come back, and it was probably let's try and get off to a decent start. I've got a new manager. Everyone was still saying they'll go down under Ranieri. They got off to a great start, and then that momentum there's all of a sudden, we're doing great here, keep it going. They didn't really have any injuries to contend with for any length of time, so they got that, and then, like you say, the league, all of a sudden they can get into the Champions League, and that goal's there, and then they get the Champions League place, then they're still on for the title. They win the title against all odds, greatest story ever and all that. Come back, and you come back and go, we know that we upset the apple cart last year. We're not a Chelsea or an Arsenal, not Arsenal, but Chelsea or a Manchester United or a Manchester City or a club like that who's expected to win titles. So we've got to fight that battle again every single week just to try and
it'll be harder this year.
Be harder, and you've got Wes Morgan's a year older and things like that. And then they start terribly, they lose a Hull on day one. A game they're expected to win, and then all of it, there's unrest over Mahrez, Willie Woney, and
Willie Woney?
Willie Woney, he was a player, he come and got injured in pre-season, and that hasn't worked out for him, but he'd probably be fit against us and score the winner. The only goal he ever scores for Leicester, Willie Woney. But so all of a sudden they upbuilt, and then they lose, they get hammered at United, and they lose heavily at Liverpool, and all of a sudden they're getting turned over quite easily away from home, so it's all gone. So they know, and they're kind of like, well, the Champions League, we're in that. And let's be the first team ever to win the first 3 games, though, conceding a goal in England.
It's the Europa League group, though.
It's the Champions League. Listen, mate, I'd be delighted if they put us in a Europa League group. They'd like to be in the Champions League, let alone qualify as comfortably as they did. So they've done absolutely brilliant. It's been one success story after another, but to recreate any kind of thing where they qualify for the Champions League again, they had to start off really well. And I think they needed 3 or 4 really exceptional signings just to give them that boost. And they didn't. Slimani's a good signing. He's a different type of player. He didn't really get what they needed, probably because, again, it's wage brackets and things like that. So it's no surprise that they're kind of bobbing around the middle of the table, but they're still doing okay. They're strong at home. And this is a this is a horrible game for Everton. Come off the back of 2 mixed results, great results against Arsenal, disappointment to losing in the last minute against them. You're going into a game now where you're playing against a team who've got 3 big players for them out, and you're still looking at it thinking, if Everton turn up, we can win this game. Well, and that could be the boost. But
even the season before, when when they got promoted and we played them first game of the season,
I think the key is don't go Boxing Day, lad. You've been the last 2 seasons and we haven't won.
I'm not going.
The only time I went there, we frigging drew as well. No, Marcus spent 95th minute equaliser for them, not us.
Didn't we go there over Christmas in 84, 85 though? And Andy Gray scored.
That was above March.
Was it?
Yeah. The flick, the yellow and the blue.
Yeah. Wasn't it yellow and black?
Blue.
Sure.
Yellow, blue.
Okay. I thought it was black.
Flick out to Trevor Stephen and Gray scored the header ran into the post all days. And then ran over to Steve Lynex like that, you shit house. It's a big Steve Lynex.
Anyway, we won them.
But yeah, we won them, yeah. We won them.
No, but I think...
I remember us in, just while we're on, 85, 86 when we had Lineker, we were mustard, absolutely brilliant at home, and they came to Goodison on Boxing Day and beat us 2-1 up in Leicester.
Yeah, there you go.
Just typical Everton, Everton ruining Christmas for bloody years.
I went to, we drew 0-0. I went there once as well, Filbert Street.
I did that when we had Steve Watson and Radzinski up front.
Horrendous.
I went. It was awful game. 0-0.
Horrendous. And I think that was 2001. I think
we had that silver kit on, didn't we?
And then obviously we did dunk.
Went to knock on someone's door and realised it was the turnstile. Filbert Street, just in the middle of that road, wasn't it? Just the turnstile.
And obviously big dunk, strangling Stephen Freud. That
was when Wazza scored, and we were there, and 5 fouls he committed and was sent off. The referee said, Steve Bennett 5, that's your 5th one, get off. And they had about 11 fouls and no bookings. Gobshites. Yeah. But so it's not been a great ground for us, Leicester away.
No.
But we need to bounce back. Obviously we'll have to make a couple of changes, a couple of enforced changes, which we spoke about, as well as Christmas meets and stuff, games, PlayStation 4 games in our starting 11 lineups we'll look at that. But it's certainly a game we can win, and I think if we could get a positive result going to Hull on the Friday night, which for me is a massive game is huge now, because that'll determine whether we're going to chase the top half or we're going to start having to look over our shoulders.
Bob around.
And I think if we could go to Leicester and beat them, I think that'd be a massive boost for us. And
plus we haven't won an away game for a while as well.
No. I mean, would you be happy with a draw?
Probably, but it'd be nice. I mean, obviously it'd be nice, but it'd be great just mentally to just get that win and then go to Hull. I mean, if we can get 6 points out of the next 2 games, I think that could be huge.
Because then the thing about it, expect to beat them as well.
The thing about it is, if I know it's all ifs and buts, but if you look at December and you say we'll beat Arsenal, and then you've got 3 points at Leicester and Hull, and you look at it and go, that's a decent December. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if we could I would say this now, that even if we took 7 up the next 9, that'd be a good Christmas for us, because normally our Christmas is like nil point or something like that. So
it's the halfway point of the season as well. And
last year we won at Newcastle on Boxing Day, and you're like, right, come on, Stoke at home, Stoke is shite, we'll beat them. You get beat for Clattenburg.
And that was the end of that.
And that was the end of the bump when it came. And the year before we had no points. We got trunked at Southampton, lost at Hull,
that's it.
Lost at home to.
You want to be going into January with a little bit of something, a little bit of momentum.
A bit of momentum.
And I think if we could start on Boxing Day, I mean, it's going to be a very, very difficult game, but listen,
we've got to defend well, haven't we? That's a key. If we can defend well and maybe quieten their crowd down a little bit and just make it a game where we've got players who can hurt them. Lukaku can score goals anywhere if we can give him the right.
Got to be up for it though, haven't he? Boxing Day and all that. And
this, I mean, he needs to have them. We need to start like we did against Liverpool.
Yeah.
We need to play
the whole game like with that kind of energy that we've put into the sort of last 2 games, I know it drifted away against Liverpool, but just got to be up and at them. Not like Watford game where it's like you're just drifting through the game.
You can see this being like a Watford game, though, can't you? You know, that like shitty lulls in it where nothing's really
because it's Boxing Day and people are sitting here talking about what presents they got and
all that. But that's, again, though, that's key for us. If we can get the first, you're almost like Martinez to come in and manage us for the first 15, just bore the shit out of everyone in the stadium for that first 15 minutes and just get it. I'd like to see us manage the game better, and I don't mean technically, I mean being little shithouses, you know, a little knock, staying down, you know, taking our time, just try and kill the game a little bit, and just get everyone down and then bang hit them and try and get in front. Because, but like you say, if we can take 7 out the next 9, we'll have had a good Christmas, and I think that'll put us nicely in the race for that. You know,
it's all ifs, isn't it? But
it's ifs and buts.
It's all ifs, but if we can do that, then it just,
if we could win 11-1,
the Southampton, because the Hull and Southampton. I sound like fucking Howard Hughes. Hull and Southampton. It's the future. If we can get
don't get this on other shows.
Southampton game, I mean, they're above us now, aren't they? So at the moment,
not bad.
So it's about, like, you know what I mean. You want to be beating teams like that. Well,
we'll tonk them.
But you got to be beating. Okay, but you've got to be beating teams like that.
No, we have.
You got to be beating teams below you and around you.
I want now the situation. I want, and it's probably obvious because I'm quite sure everyone does, but I want the teams, the top 3 or 4, to win the League Cup.
Yeah. And
obviously the FA Cup, because that 7th place becomes the Europa League place, and I think it's key for us, and so we need to be.
We win the FA Cup.
Well, but what I mean is, if we can't win it, then that's what I want it to be, because it's about now a little bit of a prize at the end of the season. If we can stay in and around that 7th, I mean, you know, the top 6 wasn't that far away from us a couple of weeks ago. Now there's 7-point gap.
Now it's going away, isn't it?
But again, it's still, we've only played 16 games. There's a hell of a lot. This Christmas period can really turn things around. If we can come out of the other side of Southampton with, what are we on? What points are we on at the moment? 23. So we can get 30 points out of the Southampton game after Southampton. You know, 30 points around Christmas. That's quite decent for Everton. Really. No, but you know what? If you go back and look historically, we're normally on about 22 points at Christmas when we come out the other side. So 30 points then going into January when we, you know. With our 46 new signings that are coming in. Yeah. We'll win the league.
Whole new squad.
We'll win the league. A whole new squad.
Don't you dare close your eyes. Right. Let us know your thoughts on this game against Leicester City.
Wish I had them ups. Mind you, he bought them, didn't he? So it doesn't count.
Whoa. I know his missus bought something, but I don't know.
Mysterious Ped. Yeah, I don't want to listen to the next line.
Leave it there. Right, tell us your thoughts on this. Leicester City, can we do
Are we going to win? I've just seen it then.
Let us know. What
Christmas jokes.
Right. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. See you later on Toffee TV.